Hi, my name is Nathan. You're watching Nice at Dice, and today I'm going to be playing this game, Maquis. This is a solo-only worker placement game. It is about being members of the French resistance against the German occupation in World War II. So kind of a bit of a war game theme, but it doesn't really play like a war game. It's definitely a worker placement game. Like I said, it's solo only, so that's kind of interesting and different about it. I'm going to assume that you've never played the game before, and I'm going to walk you through some of the basics of how the game works, and then we'll just go ahead and play the game. So we'll go down to the desk and get started. Okay, so here's the game set up. First of all, you have these two missions that you're trying to complete. There's a number of missions that come with the game. These are just two that I chose kind of randomly. First of all, we have this one, which is Liberate the Town. It tells us the Allies are pushing forward. If we rise up at the right time, our town could emerge unscathed. For that, we will need weapons and courage. So the goal is to possess at least 3 weapons and 4 morale at the point the day track marker moves to the end space. So morale is tracked on this little mini board. You can see you got morale at the top. Morale starts at 6. It can go as high as 7, can go down all the way to 0. If you hit the 0 spot, it says fail there, you've lost the game. But we need it to be at least at 4 when we get to the end of the day track. The day track is on the side of the board here. You start on basically day 0, and as soon as you finish day 14, you move on to the last space and the game ends. So when we get there, we need to have 4 morale and 3 weapons. The weapons are just these little tokens here. The second mission that we have is Sabotage, and this mission says the occupation runs a munitions factory on the outskirts of town. Infiltrate and sabotage the operation by any means possible. So a worker must infiltrate the factory twice, then return a third day to deliver explosives. So we're going to need some explosives. That's just represented by this little token here. And we're going to need to come into the factory 3 times, total of 3 times on 3 different days. And that sits up here on the top of the board. It's like another location you can go to, and it connects to this location. I'm just going to say right now, I have never taken any French. I don't speak any French. So I'm probably going to mispronounce all these French names. So I apologize for that, but that's just that's how it's going to be. So I'll do my best, but sorry if I mispronounce them. Okay, so those are our 2 objectives. Basically, one is get weapons and keep our morale up, and the other one is get into this place 3 times, and on the 3rd time, we got to bring a bomb with us. Now, the main thing that's going on in the game is you have this board, which is just a map of this town, and there's different locations on the town. We have a safe house here on the bottom. That's where our guys start. We have a couple of fields here where we can have supplies dropped and then pick them up. We have a cafe where we can hire more people, or recruit more people, I guess. Probably a better way to put it. We've got a grocer here where we can pick up food. Food is needed to recruit people. We have a black market where we can trade food or medicine for money, but at the cost of morale, so we want to be careful about that. We have the doctor here where we can pick up some medical supplies. We have the poor district where we can spend a food and a medical supply to improve our morale. We have the fence where we can spend money to get weapons. We have 2 radios, Radio A and Radio B. At the radios, you can either get these little intel packets, or you can have them drop something at one of the fields. So the things that you can get dropped is either 1 money, 1 weapon, or 3 food. Okay. Then the other spaces are, we have Rue Baradat, Pont-l'Évêque, Pont du Nord. Those 3 areas have no effect. We might send people there just in order to keep other paths open, and I'll explain paths in a minute, but there's no effect just for going there. And then we have these 3 spare rooms. The spare rooms you can go to and spend 2 money to put one of these spare room tiles into there. So basically we can turn these 3 spots into some spots that we want by spending some money. So those are basically the things that we can do on the map. we're going to send our workers out, and each time you send a worker out, let's say I send a worker to the doctor, for example, my opponent is going to send out one of their workers. They have two types of workers. They have these blue workers, which are called milice. They're basically like military police. And then they have these red workers, which are soldiers. To start with, they're just going to be using the milice. And where the milice are going to come out is based on these patrol cards. So they're going to draw a card from the patrol deck, and that's going to tell them where to put a guy out. So if, for example, they put a guy on Pont-Levique here, and then let's say I go to the grocer, and then they put a guy on Radio B, and then I'm going to put a guy on, let's say the black market, and then they put a guy on the fence. After we've put out all our guys, my guys have to go back to the safe house. So this guy can go back to the safe house. He can travel along this line here. This guy can go back to the safe house, traveling along these lines here. This guy can't get back to the safe house because there's this guy in the way. He could try to take another route, like up through here, but he'd be blocked by this guy as well. So this guy is going to get arrested, which means I lose him, and he won't do the thing that he could do at that spot. He won't be able to come back with the medical supplies because he got arrested. So that's basically the gist of what's going on. And then we'll take everybody off. We will start over with a new day, and we'll, of course, take this marker, which was up here, and we'll move it up one to count the days down. All right? That's basically what we're doing. One other thing to show you on this little board, this board tracks your morale up top, but on the bottom it tracks the soldiers, which start at 0. You can use these weapons to kill the milice on the board if they're blocking you from getting back to the safe house. But every time you do that, you have to move up the soldier track 1. And then you replace one of the opponent's milice workers with one of the soldier workers. So we want to avoid that. Also, our morale goes down every time a soldier comes out. So we got to avoid that if possible. So let's go ahead and see what we're doing. Also down here, you won't be able to see this as I'm doing it really, but this is in the rulebook on page 10. There's this little chart near the bottom that says Patrol Card Summary. It basically gives you a little chart that shows all the different patrol cards and the locations on those cards. I like to keep this handy, and I don't know, I'll slip it under here. Maybe you'll be able to see it a little bit. All right. Yeah, I don't know how well you'll be able to read that, but I like to keep that handy and kind of use these little tokens to mark off the cards as they come out, so I can keep track of which cards have already come out, which cards are still in there. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. So I get the first move. I've got to put out one of my workers. What do I want to do? Well, I'm going to need weapons. I'm going to need to keep my morale up, and I'm going to need a bomb. The only way I can get a bomb is to build this chemist lab. That'll let me trade 1 medicine for 1 bomb. In order to build the chemist lab, I'm going to need money. So let's start by going to Pont-Levique, and then we'll see what comes out. Okay. They're going to send a guy to the fence. So you'll see when these cards come out, they have actually 3 locations on. So they'll try to go to the first location first. If that location is already occupied by one of my guys or one of their guys, then they'll go to the second location. If that one's already occupied, then they'll go to the third location. All right, that's how that works. So they went to the fence. Now we'll go to Radio A. And they are going to go to the grocer. And let me go ahead and mark these off real quick. What's come out? There we go. All right, and so for my last guy, well, I know I'm going to need medicine, so I'll go ahead and go to the doctor. They're going to send their last guy to Radio B, which is that card. Okay, so all our guys are out. This guy comes back with nothing. This guy comes back with medicine. This guy comes back having asked for money to be dropped in the field. These guys are going to come back here. This is going to move up to the next day. All right, so what do I want to do now? Well, I kind of want to try and do the same thing, more or less. So let's send a guy to Pont-Levique. They send a guy to Radio B. I'm going to send a guy to Radio A. They're going to send a guy to the fence. I'm going to send my last guy to the field here to pick up this money. And they're going to send their last guy. Okay, so this guy's going to try to go to Pont-Levique, but I'm there, so he's going to go to the black market instead. Okay. All right, well, this guy comes back with the money. This guy comes back with nothing. This guy comes back having asked for another money drop in that field. These guys come back. This moves up on the next day, and we start over again. So now what I want to do is I definitely want to get my guy to, so here's where like I'm tracking which cards are still left in the deck. And that's really helpful now because I can see that there's 4 cards left in the deck. The first choice of location on 2 of those cards is Radio A. So a very good chance they're going to try and send someone to Radio A. The other options that they have are the Grocer and Pont-Levique. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to go ahead and send a guy to Radio A. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, next card says Radio A, Pont-Levique. So they are going to go to Pont-Levique because Radio A is occupied. All right, so now I know that if the other Radio A comes out, it's going to send a guy to Liberate the Town. If the card that comes out that starts with Pont-Levique comes out, since that's occupied, it'll go to Pont-Nord, and then the third card would go to the Grocer. All right, so I'm fine with any of them, any of those 3 locations. If they go to any of those 3 locations, I am okay. So I'm going to send this guy over here to the field. They're going to go to Ruberidat. And I'm going to send this guy to that safe room. And they are going to send their third guy to the Grocer. Okay, so this guy's going to come back with this money. This guy is going to use these 2 money to build a safe house here, which means this guy means he doesn't have to come back around here. Doesn't have to come back here past this guy because he just built a safe house. So I have 2 safe houses now. Then this guy can come back to this safe house and call for another money drop there. All right, everybody is safe. These guys go away. This is going to move up. So this moved up, it just moved up onto an orange space. Anytime it goes onto an orange space, your morale goes down by 1. And now we start another day. So what do I want to accomplish now? I know that the next card that comes out, it's the last card, it's going to be one that puts a guy here. That's fine, I don't need to go there. So now I'm thinking I still need more money, because I'll need one more money. After I pick up this money, I'll still need 1 more money to build the pharmacist. Oh, I don't need the pharmacist. I need the chemist lab. Yeah, but anyhow, still, I'll need 1 more money. So I'm going to go to Radio A. Okay, the guy's going to come out on Pont-Levique. All right, can clear that because now I do not know what their next location is going to be. All right, so I'm thinking I might as well send someone to the field to pick up that money. But what else could I do? That would be progress. Maybe it'd be a good idea to send my third guy to the grocer to get some food, because food can be used to recruit more workers. That could be useful. And of course, food can also be used with medicine at the poor district to improve my morale, which I might need to do because I want to end the game with at least 4 morale. So I think we'll go to the grocer with our next guy. And their next person will go let's see, they would go to Pont-Levis, but that's already occupied, so they'll go to the black market. All right, and then my third guy will just go to the field. And their next guy will go to the fence. All right, so this guy gets to come back with some food. This guy comes back with some money. This guy comes back to there, having asked for another money dropped in the field. All right, these guys all go back. Move up to another day. So, what's next? I need, let's see, I need the money from here, and I need to go to this spare room to install the chemist lab. And I'll probably put a guy on the grocer just to make sure that the guy who goes to the spare room can get back safely. So we'll start with the grocer. They're going to send a guy to Radio B. And I'm going to send a guy to the field. They're going to send a guy to Radio A. And I'm going to send my guy to the spare room here. Okay, and this guy's going to end up, going to go to Pont-Levis. All right, this guy's going to come back with this money. This guy's going to come back having spent this money to install the chemist lab. And then this guy's going to come back with some food. All right, these guys are all going to go back and move up to another day. Okay, so at the end of this day, this is going to move up to an orange space, which is going to drop the morale down to 4, which is as low as we can, as it can be at the end of the game. So that's something to be aware of. And also, once the morale drops down to 4, they're going to get a 4th worker. So I might want to think about either keeping the morale up or recruiting another worker. And I also need to remember that I got to make multiple visits to this place. So, and I'm going to need weapons. So what do I prioritize? Well, let's start by sending the guy to Radio A. I'm going to need how many? I'm going to need 3 weapons. So let's start by sending the guy to Radio A, because that can get us a weapon. They would go to Radio A, but since I'm there, they'll go to Liberate. Okay. Can I safely send a guy here? I want him to be able to get back. Let's see. Pretty good chance they'll send someone to the grocer. And then the fence and Radio B. Okay. So the only thing that would mess me up is if they send both guys, if both of these cards that would go to the grocer come out. Because if they both come out, depending on the order that they come out, they'll end up, the second one will end up at either Pont du Nord or the Poor District. And either one of those would block this guy being able to get out. So what I can do is I can go somewhere else first. Okay. Pont-Levis should not get blocked. So I could safely send someone to the Poor District. I think that should work. All right, and then the grocer's going to come out. Okay. Okay, you know what? I think this will work, because if I send this guy to the factory to scout it out, the last one of their workers is either going to go to the fence here, Radio B here, or it's going to be this one that would go to the grocer, but the grocer is blocked. So then he would go to the Poor District, but the Poor District is blocked, so he would end up at the doctor. So I think we're safe if we go there. All right, and their guy went to the fence. Okay, so this guy gets to come back, and he's going to call for a weapon there. This guy gets to come back, and he's going to spend food and medicine to improve morale. This guy gets to come back, and we're just going to mark this first space on there to indicate I got into the factory once. All right, these guys are going to go away. This is going to move up. Morale's going to go back down, but it's at 5, so still in good shape. Nothing changes. All right, next day. So I definitely need to keep calling for weapons. I need to get some medicine and get it to the chemist's lab to turn it into a bomb. And I need to get in here if I can. So let's start by going here to get another weapon. They're going to go to the grocer. So that blocks off any chance of going here this turn. But that's okay. We're not going to worry about that anyway. We will go to the doctor to get our medicine that we're going to need. They're going to send their second guy to Radio B. And now I have no real idea what they're going to do next. It could go anywhere. So I got to think what's the safest thing for me to do with my third guy. I'd probably just go to the field to pick up that weapon. Yeah, that'd probably be good. So we'll do that. And the last guy would go to the grocer, but that's occupied, so he'll go to the port district instead. Okay. All right. This guy comes back with this weapon. This guy comes back with medicine. This guy comes back having asked for another weapon to be dropped there. These guys go back here. And this bumps up to 7. All right. Well, we're going to need another weapon at least, so we'll go ahead and go to Radio A. All right, they're going to go to WWII. Let's see, what are the odds that this stays clear so that we could go here another time? Not great. The odds aren't great. Let's see. If we go to the grocer, that should be safe. And they're going to send a guy to Radio B. Then I'll just send my third guy to the chemist's lab. Go ahead and get my bomb. And they will send a guy to Liberate the Town. Oh man. See, this path is open. I could have gone there. I've been safe. Oh well. No way I could have known. So. Alright. This guy comes back with more food. This guy comes back having exchanged medicine for a bomb. And this guy comes back there having asked for another weapon to be dropped in that field. Alright. You guys are safe. These guys are going to go back here. Going to move up to the next day. And let's see. Alright. I gotta infiltrate this place 2 more times, that's for sure. That's a big one. Small, okay, so chance the grocer will come out again. Chance that WWII will come out again. The fence has a really good chance of coming out. Radios A and B could happen too. So I want to try and make sure I get to here, which means I want to try and keep either this free or this free. And I'm trying to decide if it's better to aim for one or the other. So there's 2 cards that are the fence. depending on which one comes out first, if they both come out. So if they both come out, depending on which one comes out first, this could get blocked. Yeah, I don't know. But if Pont-Levique doesn't get blocked, if I keep Pont-Levique open, then the black market will get blocked. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to go to Pont-Levique. See what happens. Oh, sure enough, that card comes out, which means they go to the black market. Okay. So that's good. That means I'll focus on keeping this path open, so I don't have to worry about the grocer. I can just let the grocer come out. No big deal. If radio B or A comes out, no big deal. The only thing I need to worry about is if both of the fences come out, then I could be screwed. So hopefully that won't happen. I'm just going to go ahead and go there. The grocer came out. Okay, then I should be good because, yeah, should be in good shape. So, because the last one's going to go to either radio A or B or the fence. Either way. So either way, I'm good. So what's another thing I could use this guy for? I could have him pick up some more medicine at the doctor, because we could use that at the poor district to keep our morale high. So let's do that. All right, and this guy goes to the fence. Okay. So this guy comes back with nothing. This guy comes back with medicine. This guy comes back having put a mark on that. So we've made some progress on that mission. These guys all come back. This moves up, which means this goes down to 4, which means they're going to get a 4th guy. That's not so good. All right. Well, now that they have 4 guys, I definitely want to have 4 guys. So I'm going to go, let's see. I guess what I'll do, I'll go to the cafe. They're going to send a guy to radio B. I'm going to go to this field. They're going to send a guy to radio A. I'm going to go to this field. They're going to send a guy to the fence. And their last guy is going to go, who knows, we'll see. But all my guys will be safe because they're all on the south side of the river, so that's good. Okay, it's going to end up radio B, Liberate. All right, ended up there. Okay, this guy's going to come back with a weapon. This guy's going to come back with a weapon. This guy's going to come back having spent food to recruit another guy. And these guys all go back there, move up to the next day. All right, we're in good shape. We have the weapons that we need. We just need to get a guy to the factory again one more time. And we need to make sure our morale stays up. The morale is going to automatically go down 2 more times. And it's at 4, which means we need to get it up twice in order to keep it at 4 at the end of the game. That'll complete that mission. All right, so basically we just got to get to here one more time and get the morale up twice. So let's start by trying to get this done, get that out of the way. So let's send a guy to... Man, it's just so... All right, we're gonna send a guy. We're just gonna send our first guy there. They're gonna send their first guy to the fence. All right. We're gonna send our next guy here to Pont du Nord. Make sure that stays open if we can. You know what? Is that what I want to do? No, let's send him to the poor district. All right, they're gonna send a guy to Radio B. All right. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and send a guy to the doctor. You're going to go to Pont-le-Vic. Pont-le-Vic. Black market. Okay. All right, so now we're in kind of a bit of a pickle because if they send someone to the grocer, which right now there's like a 33% chance they'll send their last guy to the grocer, then both of these guys will be blocked and arrested. It's okay on the one hand because both of these locations have this little orange shield with a star on it. And what that means is if your guy that you sent there gets arrested, he still accomplishes his mission. So it's okay. Both of those places have that, so they'll both still accomplish something, but I'd rather them not get arrested because then I'm down 2 workers. So is there anything I can do to protect that? Well, if I put a guy on the grocer, because there's a good chance the grocer will come out, then... Okay. No, because if the one card comes out that says grocer, then my guy who's on the grocer will end up getting arrested. Because what will happen is one of the cards says grocer, poor district, doctor. So if I put my guy on the grocer, and then they try to put their guy on the grocer, not the grocer's occupied. So then they'll go to the next one on the list, which is poor district. That one's occupied. So then they'll go to the third one on the list, which is doctor. That one's also occupied. So then they'll go back up to the top of the list, check if that's one of my guys, and if it is, they'll arrest him. So then I'll end up with 3 guys arrested, and that will be really bad. So I don't want to do that. So I think all I can hope for is that there's also a 33% chance they'll go to Radio A. That would be fine. Won't mess me up at all. There's a like something like 16, 17% chance they'll go... Oh. Wow. Okay. There's really only like a 33% chance I'll be okay here. So where do I want to put this guy? I'm just going to put him here in this cafe for no reason. He's not going to do anything there, just to keep him out of harm's way, basically, is what I'm doing there. So, that's that. And then we'll just see what this is. Oh, yep, I'm in trouble. Okay, he went to Pont du Nord. Pont-le-Vic was his first choice. That was occupied, so he goes to Pont du Nord. Okay, well, it could have been worse. This guy comes back safely with medicine. This guy is going to spend a food and a medicine to improve morale, and then he gets safely back to the safe house. This guy comes back to the safe house having done nothing. This guy's going to get arrested, but because of that little shield icon, he is going to get to spin the bomb to accomplish the mission. All right, well, that was a noble sacrifice on his part. Okay, I kept 3 of my guys, and I finished 1 of my missions, so that's not too bad. All right. So, next day. Basically, the only thing I need to do is I need to do the poor district again. So I'm going to need groceries for that. So I'll go to the grocer first. All right, send the guy to Radio A. And let's see. Chances are... All right, so let's go to the poor district. Okay, they're going to send the guy to Pont-Levique. And the last two guys, one of them might go to the fence. The other two options are for the grocer, which is occupied. So then poor district, doctor, that'd be fine. Pont du Nord be the other option. Okay. So basically, I'm okay. Whatever card comes, whatever two cards come out, I'll be fine. Just trying to think if there's anywhere useful for this guy to go. I can't think of anything really. Well, you know what? He could go. No, I don't have enough food for him to recruit someone at the cafe. You know, for no particular reason other than that, I know it's gonna be safe. I'll send him to Radio B. He can call for something there. All right, and their last guy's gonna go to the fence. All right, so this guy's gonna come back with some food. This guy is going to be able to come back like that. Use the food and the medicine to improve morale. This guy's going to be able to come back, and he's just going to call for some more food, I think. He can have 3 food dropped at the field. Right? Is that right? 3 food? Yeah. Okay. Very nice. So, it's another day. But here's kind of where we're at now. So, our morale is at 3. No, I'm sorry, it's at 6. Our morale is at 6. It's going to go down 2 more times before we get to the end, which means it'll be at a 4. We've got 3 weapons, which is what we need. So we need our morale to be at 4, and we need 3 weapons in order to complete this mission. This mission's already been completed. So basically that's the game, because for the next, 1, 2, 3 rounds? No, 4 rounds. For the next 4 rounds, I could just keep my guys down here, you know, send them out to the fields and the cafe, whatever. It's like we're already set. So that's basically it. That is a victory. Okay, well, that's it. Let's go back up top, talk about it a little bit, and yeah. Okay, so that's a game of Maquis. Again, pretty cool little game. Solo only, worker placement. As you can see, it's a pretty interesting game. Some interesting decisions there. A lot of it is watching the cards as they come out of that patrol deck, seeing what cards are out, what cards are still in the deck, where your opponent therefore might send guys, kind of weighing the pros and cons of, can I safely send someone here or there, wherever you need to go. You got to try and play it safe when you can to preserve your workers, but at the same time, you have a bit of a time pressure there because you only have a total of 15 rounds to accomplish your objectives. And I just showed you 2 missions. They're both pretty different. One was basically have these resources at the end of the game, and the other one was get to this location 3 times, having a particular item on the 3rd time. And there's a lot more variety to it with different types of missions. So anyhow, hopefully that gives you a pretty nice idea of the game. I had fun playing. I hope you had fun watching. Again, my name is Nathan. You're watching Nice at Dice. Thank you so much for watching, and you enjoy the rest of your day.